They were a wonderful couple, very much in love with each other, and they loved their children very much as well. But as the children were growing up, I'm sure there were some of those days that probably all parents and all families have, times that were extremely hectic, sometimes very stressful, as the parents tried to keep track of all four of the children. One day, the mother joked about how much she envied the Blessed Virgin Mary. Mary only had one child, and he was God. I mean, how hard could that be, right? Now, she was joking, of course. And we know that neither Mary nor Joseph had it easy. The crib scene reminds us that the birth of Jesus didn't turn out the way Mary and Joseph had planned. They had expected to be at home in Nazareth, not far away in Bethlehem, certainly not in a stable. Joseph was a carpenter, and he probably had made a new crib for the baby. I'm sure he didn't expect to have to leave the crib at home and place the baby in a manger. And Mary and Joseph, I'm sure, had been expecting to be surrounded by family and friends at the birth of their child, not surrounded by shepherds, sheep, and cattle. And today's gospel describes another very puzzling and painful experience 12 years later. On their way back home from Jerusalem, Mary and Joseph realized that Jesus was not with their extended family in the group of people going back home as they thought he was. So they returned to Jerusalem and searched for him for 3 days before finding him in the temple. As many parents have probably done, Mary said, "Son, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety." Even their joy in finding him was tempered by his puzzling words about being in his father's house. In our first reading, Hannah dedicated her son Samuel to God. And so too Mary and Joseph realized that Jesus had been dedicated, that he had been given a very special mission by God the Father. And they wouldn't always understand what God the Father was doing through Jesus. And Mary, certainly, as Jesus began his public ministry, didn't always understand, and she must have felt terrible as the opposition to Jesus grew and eventually led to his death. But Joseph and Mary faced these challenges with a generous love for each other and with a deep faith in God. And like all families, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph faced many difficulties that were beyond their control, including the need to escape to Egypt to save Jesus' life from Herod. But their example reminds us of what is always within our control. And that's our decision to love our family and our decision to have faith that God is with us and with the people we love. Our celebration of the Feast of the Holy Family, I think, is a chance for us to give thanks to God for the gift of family and to give thanks to the members of our family for the love that they give to us. Each of us is homemade. It's from our parents that we receive the gift of life. It's within our families that we are nourished and loved. It's within our families that we first learn how to love. Most, if not all of us, have received the gift of faith from our parents and other family members. And certainly Christmas is meant to be a very special family time, a time to be together, a time to exchange gifts. But I think as the Christmas season continues, we're also reminded that the most important gifts are actually the unwrappable ones. The gifts we don't wrap and put under the tree, but the special gifts that we give to each other, and especially to the members of our families. The gift of ourselves, our time, our caring and compassion, our listening, our patience, our forgiveness. We know, too, that this can be a very painful time for families who are struggling with misunderstandings and with unhealed hurts. And we pray that they may receive the grace of reconciliation. For us as followers of Jesus, I think today's celebration of the Holy Family is also a challenge to share our love beyond our families, reaching out to our friends, to our parish family, and to the larger world that desperately needs our love. And that, of course, is a challenge that goes far beyond today and far beyond the Christmas season. I've often quoted these words from an anonymous author. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, then the work of Christmas begins, to find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among all people, to make music in the heart. In this Eucharist, as we give thanks for our own family, may we also renew our willingness to reach out to our larger human family, and especially to the people most in need of our love.